Coming up on Look Today, well, the Grasslands Important Bird Area in Washington County has increased its security to help protect these endangered birds. I've got details. Plus, the results are in on the Glens City School District's proposal to purchase land next to the school bus garage. More on that coming up. And the village of Lake George is getting ready for annual Winter Carnival. I've got details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. On tonight's program I sit down with Lynn Gelber. She's chair, Saratoga Chamber Players, and she's here to talk about an upcoming concert that's happening this Sunday. I also sit down with John Carr and Eric Ankoff. They're two business owners, Washington County, and they're here to discuss important issues surrounding tourism dollars in the county. Plus we got your weather for the Tri-North counties. First, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Grasslands Important Bird Area in Washington County is going to increase security to help protect endangered species. Now, in recent months, photographers and other visitors have trespassed onto the off-limit areas. Well, the presence of the endangered birds, such as the short-eared owls, has increased this year, causing more pedestrian traffic. Now, they're getting too close to the birds, and that can cause the birds to become distressed and expend energy that they actually need for survival. Well, the DEC is in charge of security, and they will patrol the grasslands. We spoke to Lori LaFond, Executive Director, Friends of the IBA.
The owl right here at our viewing area, one of the snowy owls, he likes to stay farther back. He's very skittish. He doesn't want people approaching him, and they're not allowed past the viewing blind anyways. So if the bird, a big thing is if the bird looks at you, you're too close, you've caught his attention, he sees you as a predator, you need to back off and give him his space and not alarm him.
I also just got some bad news from Laurie that one of the snowy owls has been hit by a car. We just got that in. I know we spend a lot of time on this thing with the snowy owls and Friends of the IBA. It's important, especially in the area that we live in, to really respect and cherish a lot of the wildlife. I know it sounds a little bit like a tree hugger, but it's really true. This is a very unique situation. The snowy owls are absolutely incredible creatures. All right, in other news, we got updates on a vote that took place within Glens City School District. Taxpayers voted in favor for the district to purchase the land adjacent to the school bus garage. Now the proposal, by the way, passed 314 to 127. That's pretty cool. That represents a 71% approval rate. Now the district will acquire the land, and the appraised value of $240,000 is no additional cost to taxpayers. Win-win. We spoke to Superintendent of the district, Paul Jenkins, about the benefits of this outcome.
We have 16 buses and 6 vans, and we have a number of other maintenance vehicles, and trying to park them all on the property that we have is becoming an issue for us, along with all of the other drivers' vehicles and things like that. So for us to expand our parking area is going to, number one, give us more space to park the vehicles, but also it becomes a safety hazard for our buses and for our drivers trying to get in and out of the current property that we have.
Congratulations, Paul, and congratulations to all of you that took the time to vote. Switching from news to weather, you can expect temperatures are going to decline. As a matter of fact, declining to single digits. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponster with your first look weather update. Let's take a look. Currently, that cold front is advancing through portions of New England. High pressure and control across much of the Midwest and Southeast. More local view, especially across the Northeast. Chilly temps, though. 4 in Burlington, 6 Albany, 15 in Boston. South of front, 17 Scranton, 22 in New York City. Across the Capital District will only be in the single digits for lows, so make sure you bundle up. Extra layers are going to be required, even on your bed and even as you're sitting down on the couch watching TV. 6 in Glens Falls, Partly cloudy skies. Wind chills could be below 0 with that north-northwest wind at about 10 or so miles per hour. 25 wind chills could be as low as -5 early in the day. Then at best in the mid-teens with full sunshine walking out the door. Wind chills below 0 with mostly sunny skies and air temps about 8 to 11 degrees. In your extended forecast, we'll cool down to 5 degrees. Waking up Friday, 29 the afternoon high with sunshine. Warmer weather on Saturday, partly sunny, 43. Enjoy it despite the need of a heavy coat, because we could see rain and snow chances at 70% coverage Sunday, 30% coverage on Monday. And highs are only going to be in the upper 30s to lower 40s, and overnight lows about below freezing, upper 20s to about 32 degrees. That was your weather update here on First Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponsler. I'll send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. Hey, well, talking about cold weather, back to the news, because Lake George Village is gearing up for the annual Winter Carnival celebration. And it kicks off the first weekend of February traditionally, and so that's going to happen this year. It runs every weekend through the month, I think up to the 25th this year. Now, some highlights of the carnival include the hilarious outhouse races, ATV races, polar plunges, no thank you, and many more things. Well, guess what? We spoke to Mayor Bob Blaze.
Well, the Winter Carnival is our premier event here in Lake George during the winter. 4 weekends in February filled with all sorts of activities, including a new snowcross event this year. It's being held at the Warren County Fairgrounds. But people that want to get out of the house during the long winter season, want to have some fun, come to Lake George. Lake George is just as magnificent in the winter as it is in the summer.
There's something going on with the lighting there. We're not exactly sure. Also, doesn't it look like any of you that watched 60 Minutes back in the day, doesn't it look like he's sitting in Andy Rooney's office? Okay, you have to be older to understand what I just said. Up next, I sit down with Lynn Gelber. She's chair, Saratoga Chamber Players. And she's here to talk about an upcoming concert happening this Sunday, a good one. Plus, I sit down with John Carr and Eric Unkauf. Now, they're two business owners in Warren County. They're here to discuss this issue that just keeps growing and growing. It's what's being done with tourism money in the county. But first, if you see what's happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a kind of an interesting lookout. As many of you know, we've had a really tough month. The flood just knocked us off air, getting the equipment in, all this stuff. Well, as you know, we're back on air. Well, we had to make a choice last Friday night. We were just getting our legs under us, and there was a game, Glens Falls and Hudson Falls, or Tracks with Wild Adriatic. Well, we chose Tracks with Wild Adriatic, knowing that we cover a lot of games. Well, apparently all hell broke loose at that Glens Falls, Hudson Falls game, and I've been getting a lot of calls about it. Where were you? Where were you? More of the same kind of luck we've had all season. So I'm sorry we missed that game. Just because of missing the game, not so much because there was a fight, but it was very unusual that a fight, especially of that magnitude, would break out in the games that we cover. The police are still looking into the situation from what we've been told today. And let's just hope that it doesn't happen again, and that if there is any ill feelings between the two schools, that somehow just dissipates. We'll take care of it. Tell you what, go do a polar plunge at the Winter Festival in Lake George. You won't even think about it again. Tonight on Look TV, Saratoga City Council meeting. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.